You may remember from part 1 of this 3-part video series, we tried to identify the rear axle. The axle was pretty dirty and it was really hard to get clean. We did manage to figure out what the stamping was on the axle too. For this video, I'm going to be removing the rear suspension of the car and cleaning it up. I had to start by taking off the brakes in order to pull the emergency brake cables out of the rear drum brakes. The driver's side cable had been damaged, probably by a tow hook, my dad said. I have to remove both of them in order to get the rear end completely out of the car. The brakes were pretty crusty, but my dad tried to explain to me how they worked. There's a lot of parts and I'm glad that he's done them before.
Yeah, I see it. It's right there.
And also, I have a video of what they look like together. The spider webs came with the car. After that, I went ahead and disconnected them. I went ahead and painted the brake drums red. I thought that it would look cool. Everybody thought it would look cool, even my dad. Then we put the wheels on, and of course you cannot see any of the red on the brake drums. So, thumbs down. After that, we pulled the anti-sway bar off the rear end. Since it was off, I went ahead and cleaned it up and painted it blue. My dad had to still remove the brake hydraulic line, which was pretty crusty and hard to get apart. We used a lot of penetrating lubricant. It was PB Blaster, if you want to know what the brand name was. We did have a shop supervisor though, my grandfather, who seemed to be sleeping more than supervising. I thought that my dad told me I would be doing all the work. Oh well, I guess I'm the cameraman, am I right?
Perches are loose. These front spring.
When I was filming my dad, I noticed that I had original Pontiac mud flaps. My dad also said that we have these original Pontiac pieces of baling wire. I have developed quite a collection of clothes hangers and wires. Whoever owned the car before me had used a lot of wires to basically hold the car together, like the exhaust and a number of other parts that I probably need to repair. We were having trouble getting the U-bolts loose that hold the axle to the leaf springs. My dad said we had to use a torch to heat them up and get them off. I didn't really get any video of that because it was cool, or should I say, hot. Another thing that I should note is that it's a really bad idea to work under your car, spraying toxic fluids and not wearing anything to protect our eyes. At this point, my dad was, even though he was the one who told me to do it. We did finally get everything loose, and the only thing actually holding the axle were the shocks. By the way, the air shocks are from the company Gabriel Hijackers, which my dad says it's some kind of famous brand that was around when he was in high school. It seems that they still work, so hopefully that won't be something that we have to replace. I finally got to do some work. My dad kind of taught me how to get more leverage by using 2 wrenches hooked together. That made it easier to get the rear spring shackle bolts loose instead of removing the front spring shackle bolts, because we just left them in the mount. The mounts only use 3 bolts to hold the front springs to the car. We did break 1 bolt on the passenger side, so we will have to order some of those because my dad says there is a specific bolt that we have to buy. We did also get the trailer hitch off my car, finally. If anybody really wants this trailer hitch, leave me a comment in the comment section, and we'll make sure to get it to you. Now, I don't know why we decided to take the gas tank off after fighting the rear spring shackle bolts. I think it might have been a lot easier if we would have done it the other way around. We took the tank out anyway, just to empty any old gas that still remains. And we'll need to possibly modify it, but that's a later video. We looked inside and it actually looked pretty good.
Still going.
I went ahead and painted it silver.
Here's our car. No rear end. It's now getting washed, as you can kind of hear in the background. It took us a while to remove it. But yeah, here we go. It looks pretty good. It took us a while to do some stuff. I mean, I couldn't really do it. My dad had to do most of it because it's not safe for me, I guess. But it's one step closer to restoring this whole car. And we'll have to do that in sometime soon.
My grandfather's shop has a steam cleaner that we use to clean all the parts like the leaf springs and the rear end assembly. I also applied some phosphoric rust inhibitor. I can't remember the name.
I got it pretty clean up here. It's still got a little grease on it. 200 and some degree water.
You may have noticed that we are working in a different shop than my original videos. That is because we require more tools, compressed air, and a lot of other things that weren't available in the empty body shop that I was working at previously. So, we drug it over to my grandfather's shop. Sorry, I'm going to leave you on a cliffhanger, but this is all. This is part 2. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, don't forget about my Patreon, which is still kind of left in the dust. But hey, all's good for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.
Turn straight, turn straight, turn straight, turn straight!